Now, Michael, how would you start breaking down? Because from a chef point of view, I'm always so interested in what way you start. Like, you know what I mean?
Normally, the way we would break it down, we'd break it down starting with the hind and work our way through to the middle, the belly, the rack, right down to the head. So I'll talk you through them, and we'll cut. So obviously you have the trotter. Now in this you have your hock, pork hock, ham hock. So you break it along the joints.
Okay.
Now, to give it traditional ham, you would take your trotter off. But you know the Parma hams and the Iberico,
they always use
it's
right
left
down
with the trotter.
Yes.
Yeah, but that's for ease of hanging as well.
It is.
Isn't it?
And it looks well for cutting, and they make tunnel bone out so that you can slice, but you still have the bone there for presentation, for hanging, So we break it here along the joint, but if we were using this now into ham, we take the hock off.
Okay.
Because hocks have become very popular, be that pork or ham. And it gives you a nicer ham when the hock is removed. So I'll go and start breaking this. So just along the joint, Tom, Kwanji. So, and again, when we're doing I have this chainmail glove, just safety, nothing will cut through it. And again, rule of thumb, you start and your finger would go over it because it can hop.
Yes.
So just little tricks. Now, I'll use the knife now to finish that. So that's kind of your trotter.
Wow.
You can almost see the gelatin in the trotter, can't you?
Yeah. So here we have a tail. Again, we used to use these for a cuttle, It's a great, and that's a little, very soft bone.
Yeah.
Nothing goes to waste, really.
Nothing.
So again, this is the rule of thumb. So if you put your H bone, and you ever see sometimes they would hip hang.
Yes.
Cattle.
Yes.
Pork. And what it is, you have a little H bone here, and it's the pelvis joint. So the hook will go in here, but what it does when you're hanging it, it starts separating the muscles.
Okay.
So it's a more tender process for the end use. So the rule of thumb, so from your H bone, we say 2 fingers from the H bone. That's kind of your gauge.
And that all becomes the ham or
The ham, yeah. Now again, I'll show you. So
2 fingers from the H bone. Okay.
2 fingers from the H bone,
Perfect.
and that kind of gives you your
guide to where to cut next.
Yeah. And again, finger over. And you don't want to go all the way through. You just kind of break the little center bone. Now again, this is quite a big pig.
10 months.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Isn't that
Beautiful.
And again, any little trimmings like that is perfect. So if I was doing this for a ham, say, I would take
Big ham, isn't it?
big ham.
Isn't it?
I take the hock off
Yeah.
because that's giving you a kind of a more center cut of a ham. So I think what we'll do now is we'll take the pork fillet out. So again, that's apart from the skirt, that's the only other inner muscle, and it's just so tender, so tender.
Ideal for stir fries or flash frying or,
Again, medallions. You could batten them out for scallops. That's what we used to do in the shops.
Yes.
You're gonna.
And that'll be probably the most expensive part of the pork. Would it be?
Yeah, the prime
Yeah,
cut, one
the
of the
prime
prime
cut,
cuts.
It's the smallest part, nearly.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's the most expensive.
Yeah.
But again, pork is
So affordable, yeah.
Yeah. So again, you're going with the shape of the bone.
Yes.
So this is your backbone and your cartilage.
So you just follow the bone all the
So
way
you follow the bone and just let your boning knife just in and out.
in and out, back
In and
your
out.
ribs,
You get to know the shape, and you want to get as much as you can.
Yeah.
So we're down onto the other end of the H bone.
And you know what? It's so funny because from a chef's point of view, there's nothing worse than getting a slice right in the middle of the fillet.
Yes.
It's the most annoying thing, and that's when you know the butcher's at top of their game or not. 'Cause they're done
Exactly.
fast,
Yeah. So again, you want to go along,
Follow the bone all the way.
follow the bone, pulling away, so you see where you're going. You have the meat in the hand, and you're letting the knife do the work, and you're pulling at the same time.
Wow.
So you don't want to leave any of it onto the carcass, really, do you? You want to...
Like that's giving you.
That's
That's
a
a
lovely piece,
tremendous
isn't it?
cut of
Yeah.
meat. You know, tremendous cut of meat. So then we're now up into the. So we call this the rump or the sideline of pork. If you wanted a bigger ham, you would have left that on the onto the leg, you know. So what we'll do is now we're going to look at breaking down into the belly. So what I'll break the whole piece, so it's giving you the rack, the loin, and the belly from like a porchetta perspective. Yeah. So we have 4 ribs, 1, 2, 3, 4. And that generally give you a 10 bone rack. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Okay.
So we'll go with a 4 bone and see how that looks.
And you run it along the rib.
Yeah, so you kind of go, now I'm even looking at, because this is kind of a big pig, we probably would have had to go
Another one, would you?
another
Right,
one,
okay.
yeah, because you'll see the eye of it. And again, we'll just cut through this.
The rack is beautiful even as a roast as well.
Oh my God. And do you know what? Even leaving the rind on
Yeah.
and scoring the rind.
Oh yeah, I love that. Yeah,
The cracking
I love
of the
the
pork.
different textures of the pork, you know, in
Yeah.
the one dish, like beautiful.
Yeah, yeah.
So you have the crispy skin, you have the fat is there.
Oh. Now, I'll just put this fork quarter over here for a second. This is part of the inner muscle. It's just part of the skirt. But put that
Loads
into
of flavour in there.
strips,
Yeah.
stir fry.
Just looking at that now, I love to do a tomahawk out of that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
Coming
Actually,
around the
good.
barbecue.
Yeah.
You know, beautiful.
And we used to do, used to call them lollipop ribs. So you get them off the belly and you'd kind of French trim them a little bit.
Oh yeah.
So you're picking them up because
Yeah.
ribs
The
are
bone
so
is clean.
tasty.
Oh, yeah.
So it'd be lollipop, so you're like a little drumstick.
Yeah, that'd be
You know?
fantastic.
You're
on a
spoiling
barbecue
us
there.
now.
Yeah.
A lot of work in it.
I'm sure there is.
So again, you want to try and break this. So again, giving you an even. So you want to have a nice wide belly. You don't want to have it too big of a loin. So be that for a roast, a loin of bacon, or even the rack. So you want a nice wide, and belly has become very popular.
Yes, yeah. It was always popular.
Yeah.
I don't like, you know, it's such a beautiful piece of
Yeah.
meat. Like that's
Yeah,
it's delicious.
yeah,
And I think it did turn off a lot of people because it was fatty. But like, if you cook it properly
Yeah.
and cook it down nicely, you know, it's
Yeah.
such a beautiful meat. Like,
and again, just safety, especially with the rib bones because they're not together. They're kind of separate.
yes,
So you just want to saw enough through, so you just break the bone, and then let the knife do the rest. Like, look at that.
so
Beautiful.
that's the
fatty.
belly area.
Beautiful.
That's your belly.
Wow.
Now, again, leaving that on the bone, say dry curing it, smoking it, making a nice pancetta.
Yeah,
And then, you know, so you could use it on the slicer,
yeah,
you do it all with the bone on, and that's what we would do.
yeah, yeah.
And again, so what I'll do with this, I'll sheet out the pork belly ribs. So it's giving you a look at the belly, and it's also giving you another cut with the ribs. You know,
I love
you want to
roasting.
leave a bit of meat on them. You know, so if I was doing the rack, I'd be sheeting it out as close
Yes.
to the bone as I can to give you as much on the line. But with the belly ribs, because it's a nice thick cut,
Yeah,
Yeah, there's loads
you
of
can want a nice beefy rib,
yeah,
still giving you a.
yeah. I love the spare ribs from there. You know, so
Oh,
yeah,
God, yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
I love roasting spare ribs and then you a bit of bite it. You know, there's
Yeah.
nothing worse than getting ribs. There's nothing on it. You know.
Oh.
That's right.
You
Yeah.
want to leave a bit of meat on it.
And again, like you're given a nice,
Oh, yeah,
solid
decent
meat,
portion,
and it's
yeah.
still giving you.
Yeah.
You know.
And you know what? I love that because it's such an inexpensive product. You know what I mean?
Isn't
With
it?
the ribs, because it's there anyway. And
Yeah.
Most of the butchers don't probably use it, but you can actually get a good nice starter out of that. You know,
Oh my
the spare
God, yeah.
ribs or
Yeah.
Incredible.
barbecue ribs or
So that's their belly. And again, you know, taking the rind off that.
that was my only thing that it took us a lot of time taking the rind off in my restaurant. Like, you know what I mean? And that's why I got the butcher to take the rind off for me and then bring it
Give
in.
me the work to do.
Yeah, because you know it's just
Yeah,
going through
it does, it does.
and especially with the skills and some, you know, with the in the restaurant with the staff. Sometimes you damage you know, you could go too far, you know, because you're using a small knife. So with a really skilled butcher,
But
you
it's
know,
about
perfect.
everybody using their own
Yeah.
trade.
And
you know?
plus, like, you probably have a machine that you can do faster, maybe as well, you know. So
Yeah, Michael is his name.
very good.
So again, like if I was doing the porchetta, for example, and again, what spices? Is it an individual thing? Is it set spices?
It's mainly thyme, a bit of rosemary, salt. You use fennel seeds as well, and they use a small bit of chili to give a small bit of spice in there, you know. So and black pepper.
Like if I was to bone that out, Tom, and then roll, like I'd put the spices. I'd done it before for a chef. He made the spice mix, and my guys had done it in the factory, and then we just rolled it, and it was like one.
It's huge. It's big here.
Yeah.
But it's so important to work with your butcher like that, like you
Absolutely.
say, to, you know, to get to know your butcher and ask him to do different things, and that's what makes you unique.
Yeah.